Hello, I'm back again. Today I will be talking about what Davido needs to do to earn the forgiveness of both Wizkid and Burna Boy. I know everybody knows that the ongoing rift among these three people is not going away anytime soon. In fact, just today, Burna Boy went on a bitter rant on his Instagram page, calling out and shading who everybody suspects to be Davido. And Wizkid has also done the same thing in time past. But before I proceed, kindly subscribe to my channel and switch on the notification so that you can get notified anytime I drop a content. Now, let's get the show on the road. The ongoing rift has left so many people heartbroken, including myself, and this has made me to switch to my investigative mode to find out what Davido must really do to end this beef between him and these two other artists. In the course of my investigation, I was made to realize that these two guys don't really hate Davido and they don't have anything major against him. They just want him to do some certain things. And after so many analyses, referencing and inferences, I came up with 8 things that I feel Davido needs to do urgently so that he can earn their forgiveness. The number one thing that Davido needs to do is to cut down his crew members. He has a whole lot of people around him, and that is posing a whole lot of problems to him. And these two other guys don't like it. Davido has so many people around him, and that has exposed him to so many controversies and so many scandals. And I feel if he cuts down the number of people that moves around with him, he will be less scandalous and he will be able to manage his public perception better, and it would appease these other guys because Wizkid, Burna Boy maintain a very small circle, and I feel that is what they also expect of Davido because he's part of the so much celebrated big three in the industry. So imagine one of the big threes going against the grail to have a huge crew members. It doesn't align with the tenets of being a big three in an industry like ours. Another thing that he must do as a matter of urgency is to stop publicizing his good deeds. By now, everybody already knows that Davido is generous, so he should stop publicizing it. It is rubbing off negatively on the other two guys because those ones maintain a low profile. It's not as if they are not also generous, but they like to keep it private and personal. They maintain a low profile, so it's as if it angers them anytime Davido go public about the good things he does for the public. So I would advise Davido to mellow down, to cut down on the publicity around the good deeds he's doing in the country and outside the country. This would go a long way in appeasing these guys because with that, it would be in alignment and on the same page with them because the way they move is they do their own things secretly, and since Davido does his own publicly, many people may be of the opinion that these two other guys are not as generous as Davido and they may be trying to drag them for not being so generous, whereas they are all doing theirs on the low key. Davido is the only one going public with it, and now it is affecting them indirectly because many people believe what they see. Not many people would believe that Wizkid is generous. Not many people would believe that Burna Boy is as generous as Davido. But on the low, they may be more generous. But since they are not going public, people see them as being tight-fisted. So I want to advise Davido to cut down on the publicity so that it won't continue rubbing off negatively on his two other colleagues. Another thing that I feel he should consider doing is to limit accessibility to himself. Davido is just too accessible. Unlike these other two guys, anybody can just walk up to Davido to say hello, to take a picture. He can just meet you on the road and interact with you freely. This is not the case with these other two guys, and I feel they don't like Davido for doing. So I would advise Davido to please cut down, to limit the accessibility to himself, especially for his own safety. It is even for his own good to limit accessibility to himself. I feel it's too accessible and it has really affected his brand negatively because anybody that is too accessible can be idolized that much. We know Wizkid is not as accessible as Davido, the same thing with Burna Boy, and this has really helped their brand. So I feel Davido should also cut down the level of access that people have to him, and this will go a long way in assuaging the tension between the three of them. One other thing that he should do is to stop flying his dad's private jet. For crying out loud, start hiring your own private jet like these other two guys. so that you can come down to their level and they can see you as one of them. Because now, the way you are flying your private jet is annoying a whole lot of people. Let that private jet be. Start hiring and renting private jet like the other big three artists. By doing that, people will stop seeing you as being proud or as being a daddy's boy. Because now everybody feel you are riding on the wave of your father, you are riding on the wave of the generational wealth in your family, which is nothing bad. Unfortunately, you are in an environment and a country where people don't really approve of rich kids being as successful as other people. So since you don't have a grass to grace story, it is better for you to start posting like one of them so that you can be on the same page with them. One more thing that I would suggest that you do as a matter of urgency is to consider a name change, especially your surname. The Adeleke name is giving a whole lot of people headache, and I won't dismiss the assumption that is part of the things contributing to this problem. Consider a name change. Stick to maybe another surname so that people will stop linking you to the Adeleke dynasty. Maybe that move would help you in getting the so much wanted forgiveness from these two other guys, because I feel your surname is posing as a hindrance to the truth that we are seeking among the three of you. I think you should consider dropping your surname. You can pick up any other random surname in the country so that at least you can be forgiven by these people. I feel your surname is also contributing to the beef that is going on in the country. The Adeleke surname is a headache to so many people. Maybe if you drop it, things will get better among the three of you. Another thing I would advise you to do is to stop announcing whenever you want to buy a new car. You may feel this is not important, but I feel it is one of the things that is stimulating tension and competition among the three of you. Anytime you announce a car purchase, the other two guys also make a move to buy their own car. Although they don't announce it, they just go to the dealership and buy theirs. And it's now becoming like a competition, like they are competing with you. Maybe when you stop announcing your car purchases, they will also stop trying to level up, So that would reduce the tension and it would reduce the rift. So going forward, we are going to 2025, change your approach to buying things. Whenever you're buying things, just maintain a low profile. You don't need to announce to the world again. Everybody knows you are capable, and everybody knows you are rich. Your money is very long. There is no need going public with the announcement again. I feel you've gone past that stage. Any announcement will still trigger the fan bases of these other guys, and it will lead to tension. Fans know how to escalate issue beyond proportion. These are normal things that happen in all other industries, but in our own music industry, fans blow things out of proportion. A normal car purchase shouldn't be a cause for tension or competition among the big three. But I feel the way you announce yours triggers all other people to also pressure their own fab to go and buy their own car also. Because for example, when you announced the purchase of your electric car recently, it triggered the fan bases of all other artists and they mounted pressure on their fab to also go for something spectacular. And we saw the result this December. They all went to the dealership to make their own purchases. After they made their own purchases, one would expect it to end there, but they went on to start shading you. They started saying you only made an announcement of yours, that it has not yet arrived, although one of your cars has already arrived in the country. The other Tesla, they said it has not yet arrived. But if you had not made the announcement, it wouldn't have degenerated to that level. You wouldn't have given them room to know what is going on in your life, and they wouldn't have had anything to shade you about, So please stop announcing your purchases, since it is now becoming a problem and a source of acrimony between all of you. It is better for you to be the bigger person and stop making announcements. Once the cars land, just start driving. People would add one and two together and know that you just acquired it. So please save us constant headache of being exposed to all these childish competition among the three of you. It is not worth it. It is because you made your announcement that they now started shading you when they got theirs, because they felt you just lied about the acquisition of that Tesla especially. Imagine you made an announcement of a Tesla and Burna Boy went to buy Tesla for his age, just in order to show you that what you are priding yourself on buying is what he is giving out. Imagine that. If you had not made that announcement, there would have been no room for such level of competition among you. Any competition that is among you is meant to be healthy and not destructive. But the competition now is becoming destructive and we don't like that. Another point that you are failing to notice that the way you are lifting others is causing rift in the industry. It's causing a lot of headache among your peers. I would advise that you stop lifting others. You've risen already. There's nowhere you want to rise to again. Stop lifting others. Your mantra has now been seen as something braggadocious, as something negative. You intended it for good, but now it's having a negative impact in the industry. So I would advise you to stop lifting others. Let others find a way to lift themselves, and if they can't, let them remain at the bottom. You've done your part. You've contributed your quota to helping people, to advancing humanity, and to catapult people to the next level. But what do you get in returns? Sticks and stones. So it's high time you stopped lifting others. Focus on yourself, focus on your family members, and focus on your craft. It's not as if these other people are lifting anybody, but you that you are lifting people, you are being vilified. So the best thing for you to do to allow peace reign is to stop lifting others, so that you can be on the same level with them, since they are finding it hard to accept the fact that it is good to lift others. They are seeing it as if you are doing show off. It is better for you to just pull back and allow everybody to be on their own. They don't publicly lift others, even if they are doing. We've not seen any concrete situation whereby we can say these people were lifted by this big artist. But you that you are going out of your way, it's not as if you have to do it. You just do it out of your own free will, out of your own goodwill. You are being targeted all the time, because I can't imagine how you feel on a very good day when these two other artists continue to drag you, continue to throw shots at you. How do you feel? I want to know. Maybe you should send me a DM so that I can even understand what goes on in your head, what goes on in your mind whenever you get dragged by these people for no just reason. Also, the last point which I want you to take seriously, don't dismiss this point. It is that you should relinquish the whole one title to Burna Boy. Please, I am on my knees. I'm begging you, relinquish this one title to Burna Boy, because I feel he has an issue with you calling yourself the one. Of a truth and facts be embraced, Burna Boy is the current #1 in Africa. You were once the #1 in Africa, but as of this time, Burna Boy is the #1. So I want to believe he's finding it difficult that you are still holding on to that title. I want you to call an international press conference and publicly relinquish the #1 title to Burna Boy, and stop your crew members and your fans from calling you 001. Maybe you should settle for 002 for the time being. And if God wills, you can still return to #1. So allow Burna Boy to enjoy the 001 title for as long as he can. And when it is time for him to also relinquish it, we are going to prevail on him to relinquish the title to whoever is the current 001 at that time. Please, Davido, I'm begging you, relinquish this title. Make it official. Make the announcement official, probably before the end of this year or early next year, that you are no longer the 001 and you are giving the 001 to the person that is befitting of it currently, who is Burna. I think that will go a long way in healing the wounds in the industry, and I want to believe it would make them simmer down, it will make them calm down and stop attacking you. All these points are things that are triggering them, but you are not paying attention to it. Anybody that is discerning, that is paying attention, would know that all these points I've raised are the things that is really causing tension and headache in the industry. And if you can look into them and address those points one after the other, you are going to see a positive turnaround in your relationship with them. Because we don't like a situation where the big three artists in Nigeria will continue fighting. It doesn't make sense. It is not helping the music industry. It is not setting a good example for those that are coming behind you. We want a music industry where love reigns supreme. We don't want a music industry that is full of acrimony, tension, and unhealthy competition. Any competition that should be among you should be a healthy one, a competition that will advance our music industry, not the one that will continue stigmatizing the music industry, giving it a bad name, giving it a bad image, and dragging us back. We want to be moving forward. And 2025 is an important year in the life of our music industry. We don't want a situation whereby we are going to be denied of the progress that is rightly ours in 2025 because there is rift, there is disunity among the big three. So Davido, pay attention to all these issues I've raised and please address them as a matter of urgency. Thank you, my viewers, for watching this episode. Before you go, kindly subscribe to my channel. Make sure you switch on the notification button so that you can get notified anytime I drop a content. Thank you. Bye.